Hey, today's October 4th, 2020. I have a John Deere 1025R, and I just on Friday, this last Friday, uh, received at my home from R&L Shippers, direct to my house actually, which was pretty sweet, the WC46 wood chipper and the WG24 stump grinder for the 1025R or other small, I guess they're called SCAT, what is it, subcompact uh, tractors, whatever. Type of stuff. Anyway, I'm about to unbox these. I'm not sure if I'm going to install them today or not, but at least I want to get them out of the crate and get them on the ground and see about getting them in the garage. Fast forward to taking both boxes off. Actually arrived in pretty decent condition. This is the only box that got damaged. It doesn't look like, other than puncturing the plastic wrap, which isn't a real big deal. I mean, it's no big deal. But anyway, I had ordered extra knives with this. It's supposed to be coming with a PTO shaft, which I'm assuming is in that box. Same with over there for the wood chipper. But I'm going to dismantle the frame. Looks like it's just held in place with a couple 1/2 inch or 9/16 bolts. Get the frame off it and see about lifting these out of here, or at least moving them around. Stay tuned. Today's October 8th. 2020. You're looking at a 2016 model John Deere 1025R subcompact tractor. Currently with an aftermarket. It's not a Frontier brand that John Deere deals with. But anyway, it's an aftermarket forklift attachment. The bucket has been removed, and I also have a 60-inch mower deck that I took off for the sole purpose of being able to use the I guess I can leave it on there and just switch the PTO to use the rear only. But instead of dragging the extra weight around, I decided to leave the mower deck off. But the purpose of this video is to show what I've experienced so far in assembling and putting on this tractor using a 3-point hitch and a quick attach from that I got from Harbor Freight. To show you the difference between the Woodland Mills wood chipper and the stump grinder. I bought two of these because I liked what I saw online. A year and a half ago I had two pieces of Vermeer equipment. One was an outstanding commercial grade wood chipper as well as a walk behind stump grinder. And I got rid of them because I'm not a commercial user. I'm a homeowner, but I was clearing some property for my lady friend, and I didn't think I would need the equipment anymore, so I decided to sell them. Since I got the 1025R that replaced a Bobcat T250 that I had, I realized that this is a small tractor. That's what it is. It's a glorified addition to basically something like this 724 tractor that you see right here. It's just about the same size. This has got a gas motor. Of course, the 1025R is diesel. But in essence, the size is just slightly different. Capacity, of course, and the design behind the 1025R series tractor, as everybody knows, it's a multi-purpose tool. Getting to the wood chipper and the stump grinder, I chose Woodland Mills after seeing their videos. But in addition to that, it's customer service. People are friendly. Every single time that I've called over the last month, inquisitive for finally making a purchase. Shipping was reasonable, and like everybody else with COVID-19, you'd seen delay in the shipping or the transport, because a lot of these, whether we want to think about it or not, folks, a lot of this stuff comes from China, Taiwan, and everything else. And it might be, you might be touted as made in the United States. Well, that's BS, because a lot of the parts and they're shipped in from outside the country. One of the competitors, for example, for the Woodland Mills, it says made in the USA, but it's created in China, shipped in, painted their color, whatever that they want to use, and a label's put on there, a big flag that says made in the United States. Well, that's garbage. It might be assembled in the United States, but it's not built in the United States. So I looked at Bauma Light coming out of Canada. I looked at Woodland Mills. I looked at the Frontier brand. I looked at one that's made by a very nice guy in Wisconsin, just outside of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I saw it on eBay. And it's a very simple design. It's under $1,200, I believe it is. But I opted for the wood chipper from Woodland Mills simply because I wanted a self-feed. Some of these others aren't. And you look at the videos, the chute is high, it's at a high angle, and you end up fighting vibration and everything else. You fight putting your stock into the chipper. I wanted a self-feed. I like the videos. If you go online for Woodland Mills, just as one choice. I guess at this point I am an advocate for Woodland Mills. Versus Baumolite, which is a nice looking machine too. In essence, it's also designed to fit around the 18 horsepower that this has at the power takeoff for this 1025R, down to 15 horsepower. But it's just well constructed. It comes on a metal pallet like this, wrapped completely in plastic with tie wraps and everything else. It took me literally over like an hour, just to take the plastic and the box off and unbolt it from this. I had never hooked up a 3-point hitch before, even though I've used tools for over 40 some years. I've never had a need to use a 3-point hitch, so I had to learn how to connect what came with this tractor to begin with. But I had opted to go with a Harbor Freight, this quick attach, not knowing, and I bought this almost a year ago using a 20% off coupon, I think it was. Got it for under $100. But I didn't know if it was going to fit. I've heard some people or seen some comments about people having to modify. It bolted right up to this Woodland Mills wood chipper. I'm assuming it's going to be dropping right into place on the stump grinder that I'm doing next. But I did have to trim back the PTO shaft that came with this. The stump grinder comes with a slip clutch PTO. This one I had to modify 1 inch, both the plastic outer jackets. There's one, it's a sleeve within a sleeve. And also the metal, I had to trim that off 1 inch in order to make it fit. But it is in the as sitting position. It's I haven't tried this with product going through here just yet. This is the chute is up for like a storage type of arrangement, but it easily drops down, like 90 degrees to mate with the other chute. Everything, you have to assemble the chute. It does take you a little bit to go through. You have to put your wrenches together. I used anything from a 13 to an 18 millimeter socket and open end wrenches to assemble this. One other thing to point out as I'm at this is a 2016 John Deere 1025R. I'm notorious for not reading manuals. It doesn't make any difference what it is. I'm more of a hands-on, see what I can do, fly by the seat of my pants, or in this case, look at YouTube videos or comments from Green Tractor Talk or other sources that are out there for suggestions. But most videos that you see are for current models or relatively like a year-old 1025R. This is a 2016 that has a push-pull PTO switch. In order to operate the rear PTO, which of course I've gotten rusty at not looking at, if I hoist this up, you'll see behind here, over this action or this area, that's for the mower deck, which I had it set on. Totally forgot about this lever. This is for the mower deck and the rear, so I haven't tried that yet. But this is for the rear PTO. I had to move it into that position, and it was locked into place. I had to actually operate the PTO toggle before I could get it to free up. When it did, I was tickled, of course. But then I noticed when I got up to just look at something, my 1025R died. And so it led me to trying to find out, and locally, this was sold in 2016 by a company called Mead Tractor. They're up in Abingdon, Virginia. They were here in Knoxville, but it's been taken over by Ag Pro. I just like going into any dealer that tries to push product on you or oversells items that they say that you need to have when you don't. But in the case of getting an answer for this morning, what I had already done, I bypassed the safety neutral switch underneath the seat, not knowing if there was a fix for this, because the current year models have a push, like a swing operated toggle arm for the PTO, and you can press it forward, and I think that's to override the mower deck, so you can go into reverse. And then as soon as you go forward, then you have to do it again if you want to go into reverse. But I did not know until just a few minutes ago a easier solution. So I reconnected the jumper that I had created between the female plug to the safety neutral switch underneath. I reconnected it, And I tried what I saw somebody say on the Green Tractor Talk website today. And that is, if you want the PTO to work, for the wood chipper in this case, because most people use a tiller that's PTO operated or whatever, you don't really need to be getting off your seat. You just turn around. Well, you have to do that with a wood chipper. In order to see what's going on, because this is rear mounted, there's no camera on here, you can't see over it. You look at the videos and everybody is turning around, wrenching their back, and that's what I'm going to be doing too. But you're on the machine, so you're sitting on the seat. There's a pressure activated plate that's in the seat itself that presses against the spring operated toggle switch, if you want to call it that, or push-pull switch, on-off switch, safety neutral switch, that you have to bear down on that. So one choice you could be, or that I thought about, is just put a block on here and then run a strap from one handle to the other to put pressure on that, simulating my sitting on it. That's why I bypass it. I just ran a jumper. But what I found today is that if you turn on the machine, and if you want to operate the PTO, what you do is simply turn on the machine, stand up, and get this revved up to the 5,400 RPM, which is this little yellow light that's here, or this bar with a gear. You get it up in that range for operating your PTO, in this case the wood chipper. You're up off the seat, you could be off the machine. Of course, it's in park, it's in neutral and park, and by rights your front bucket or the forklift or whatever attachment's down. And with you off the machine, pull up on the PTO switch and it stays running. I was not aware of that until just a few minutes ago, so I'm really happy to be able to reconnect the safety neutral switch. For down the road, if I ever sell the machine, I'll probably forget to reconnect it, and I don't want somebody else to get into a bind. So to operate the PTO in the rear, to operate a wood chipper, no matter what brand it is, Bauma Light or whatever, whoever makes a wood chipper for this, or some other device that you want to be off the machine, maybe a log split or something, I'm not sure, whatever their attachments. In order to operate that, turn your machine on, it's in neutral, parking brake's on, front end's down, your equipment's down on the ground. You start the machine, get it up to your RPM level, get off the seat, then pull up the PTO switch, and you can operate your wood chipper. Okay, I'm going to get on to operating or hooking up the stump grinder.